Hello everyone and welcome to the class. We are live right now. We have people tuning in from all over the world. For any of you who happen to be watching this video either on our YouTube channel or on our website, you can find out everything about how to attend our live classes. Yes, those are also free. You can find it on our website at pcclassesonline.com. Today we are talking all about the brand new version of Toast, Toast Titanium 12. For those of you who have Toast 11, and I see a few people have already mentioned this in the chat, two at least so far, yes, it's very, very similar. So if you already have Toast 11, you really probably don't need to go to Toast 12. So in order to use this software, I want to just go over a couple little things. So if you have a Mac, the software is only for Mac. You are going to need, if you have a relatively recent computer, a external optical drive. Optical drive, also known as DVD drive, burner, whatever. Toast 12 does support Blu-ray, so what I'm going to do is in the combination of the description of this video, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, and for those of you who are tuning in through our website, we're going to have in the store all of the products that we would recommend if you're going to buy an external optical drive. One thing I just want to mention right off the bat, so Apple has this overpriced drive that they sell for $80, which is just a DVD burner. The one that we're going to list, and granted prices fluctuate, but the DVD burner that we're going to post a link to is $79, so you get more for the same price. And we have a DVD burner that we're going to post. Again, prices change, but it's around $22 to $25, so it's really inexpensive. Another common question I always get is for people who do a lot of projects where, like, especially come the holidays, they like to burn a lot of CDs or DVDs or Blu-ray discs. It's not a bad idea to use one of these because it just takes all of that strain off your computer and puts it into the external device. That's, of course, for those of you who have a computer that came with an optical drive. For Mac users, there is no software that you need to install in order to get those burners to work. It is just plug and play. Now, when it comes to Toast, the software itself, if you go through the link in the description, I believe the software is about $64. If you go through Roxio's website, who makes this software, it's $100. So there's your motivation. Buy through the link. When you first install the software, one thing I would like to kind of give you a little piece of advice. When it's walking you through the installation, one of the questions it's going to ask is if you want to set up this feature called, what's it called here? I have right here, Toast and Mount. It's basically a little thing that runs in the background. My advice is don't, because you're going to pretty much need to go through the software regardless, and you want to try to minimize as much as possible items that are running in the background. That way you have enough memory to devote to the applications you actually use. So my advice is don't do that. Couple other things I want to mention about when you're burning CDs and DVDs, okay? There's a whole bunch of different companies out there that make blank media. Again, we're going to have links to those. Typically, one of the companies I have always found to be very reliable and inexpensive is Verbatim. It's different prices for different things, but they seem to be overall a pretty good brand. There's a few brands out there, I don't want to mention them by name because I can't prove it, that have had some issues with playing back in certain types of DVD players. So when you first open Toast 12 Titanium, this is one of the screens you could see. Basically, there's two different ways that it can open. This is one of them. Okay, you'll notice here at the top of the screen it says View Common Projects. Okay, that is for what probably about 80% of you are going to need, maybe even more. And then we have some more advanced projects. We're going to keep it right now just on Common Projects. Overall, there are basically 4 different types of CDs, DVDs that you can create. Data, audio, video, or just basically clone another disc, which is arguably one of these also. So in data, you can create a CD that is just for the Mac. You can create one that's Mac and PC friendly. My advice is probably best to stick with that. For those of you who are photo fanatics and want to have a photo disc that you can pop into a DVD player and create a slideshow, they also have an option for that too. It's very, very easy, and it connects in with the Photos program. It's very, very simple to use. Under audio discs, okay, we have a few different options here. We have an audio CD. It's probably the most commonly used type. A music DVD, which can be put onto a DVD player. As they say here, can contain up to 50 hours of music with a DVD-like menu navigation. The other one, I love this one, is MP3 disc, especially useful for those of you who have a car that has this support. The key thing to look for is you need to make sure that the player that you're going to be putting this disc into has MP3 compatibility. So if you want to do this with your car, for example, there'd be a little logo right by where the CD drive is in that case, that would say MP3 compatible. So you'd want to look for that. The advantage to an MP3 disc is you are going to fit a ton of content on that one disc. We are talking way, way more than your standard 15 to 20 songs. So audio CD, basically it's going to play everywhere. Music DVD is built for a DVD player. MP3 disc will work on the different players that have support for it. Here under video, okay, we have a bunch of different options here. We have DVD, pretty standard. Obviously for that, you're going to want to try to hit your maximum quality. We have Blu-ray video, okay. We have a high-def DVD video. These can be played back on your Mac. Well, the descriptions are all there. Video TS is going to be for people who really know kind of what they're doing as far as setting this all up. A quick note sort of about this is for anyone who's looking to, and I just have to kind of say this to clear myself legally, anyone who's looking to like rip a DVD that you got, either that you rented or something a friend gave you, that is technically illegal, and you cannot rip it through Toast. I'm not saying that you can't do it. You need another piece of software in order to be able to do that. I had taught a class on how to do it, and one of the things I've learned about teaching these classes is they tend to rack up a lot of hits over time. So for legal reasons, I had to kind of take that video offline. But if you do want to do that, there are ways to do it. I just unfortunately can't teach you how to do it. Copy. Okay, so the disc copy version is made for basically if someone gave you a disc. Okay, if someone gave you, let's say you went on vacation altogether and you got a photo CD made and you just want to clone what you've got, that'd be where this would be a great solution for you. They also give you this great, well, sort of great option to convert video files. Okay, you can also convert audio files too. So for those of you who have a file format that is not compatible with a DVD, this is potentially one of the ways you can convert it so that you will be able to burn it to a disk. It's pretty simple. You'd go in here, you basically drag in the file. I have a few video clips here on my second monitor that I'm going to drag in. Okay, so here's a video that I made and never ever produced on iPhone cases. And so what you would do is drag it in, hit convert, and it will basically give you the different options for what kind of a file format to convert it to. That being said, I have tried several different formats. It doesn't convert everything that's out there. So I want to give you another solution, and I'll put a link to this in the description of the video. I've got to remember the name of this. It's Video Convert. I want to say it's just called Video Converter. But as you can see here, you do get it through the App Store. I believe it's this one right here, Smart Converter. Okay, there's a free version and a paid version. I have not used either. I've read the reviews and they seem to be very legit. I do also know that any Video Converter HD does also work. I have tested that one, so you can check those out. Let's get back here to data. Okay, so a data disk. Why would you create a data disk? Well, one of the big reasons is as a backup of your stuff. Now, this is not good as a primary backup. Arguably, it's not even a good secondary backup, but it might work as a decent tertiary backup. So why is that? Well, if you have a computer, if you have a Mac, the best way to back up your data is through Time Machine. We've done a whole class on it. I'm actually about to redo that class. Just some things have changed. So I'm going to redo that class. I'll try to put a link to that one as well. Second backup, I tend to recommend the cloud. Something like Dropbox, Google Drive, iCloud Drive. Something that gets the data out of your home or office. Okay, so that if your computer was stolen, if the office burned down, you're still good. The third is basically, it's the emergency to the emergency. okay? And this is where data disk can come in handy. So what you can do here is if you're here under data disk, and my recommendation is just do Mac and PC. There's really no reason to do Mac only. Go over here to media, okay? And here under the data tab, you can see basically a layout of your computer. Now, if you want to kind of get to the good stuff, here's where it is. So you'll have the name of your computer up at the very top. Beneath that, we have Macintosh HD. Beneath that, you want to look for this folder here called Users. And within Users will be your name. That's referred to as your home folder. The home folder contains your stuff. So your photos, your documents, your downloads, all that jazz. So if you really want to just back up the most important things, you're going to target the home folder. So that's at least what I would recommend. Things like your contacts and calendars, all of those are backed up to the cloud, so you really should not need a secondary backup for that. Okay. Also, the other thing you can do, I should probably just mention this, is you can literally have items here either on your desktop or you can open a Finder window and you can literally just drag and drop files into this window right here. And what you'll notice is that here at the very bottom, okay, it's going to give you kind of a layout of how much space you will have free. Now, obviously, DVDs have a lot more space available than something like a CD. So for something like data, you are going to want to use either a DVD, a Blu-ray disc, or there is another option. The other option is to go with something called a dual layer disc. They are more expensive, but let's say you have a DVD player, but the standard, I think it's 4.7, I want to say, gigabytes that is available on a standard DVD just isn't enough space. A dual layer DVD gives you basically double the amount of storage on a normal DVD disc. So if you want those, links to those as well in the description of the video. Next here we have audio CDs, okay? It's very, very easy to use, okay? All you have to do, click on audio. Over here on the right-hand side, we're under media. We're going to switch from data to audio, and check it out. This right here is iTunes, okay? So you could either drag in individual songs and move them in, okay? I'll just throw in a few right there. You can see down here at the bottom, it has now converted, because it knows it's an audio CD, it's converted away from DVD to a CD, okay? So with this, you're typically going to have room for around 15 to maybe 20, 21 songs on average. Of course, your mileage may vary. Next here, let's go over to video. Okay, it was set to high definition DVD video. Let's just go to standard DVD. You can pull from video projects that you have in iMovie. Okay, for those of you out there who use Final Cut, you want to basically export your video as a file, and then you can just drag it in. Very, very simple. There's a few other options here that I want to mention. Some of these don't work very well, or they're weird the way they work, is what I found. The big one is this right here, web video. So you can actually capture YouTube videos, some of them, not all of them for whatever reason. And I think this may be some sort of a licensing thing, but you can capture the web video and import it and burn it to DVD. I want to show you how to do that. So forgive me, I'm going to have to kind of juggle some screens right now. As I said, we are live. So let's just go to YouTube, and let's just pick a random video. I'm going to have to kill my audio so I don't get hit with any copyright issues. Okay, let's give a promo to our buddy. This guy is like one of the best tech reviewers out there, Marquis Brownlee. Awesome dude. Jealous of his talent. Okay, so I've got a video of his playing here in the background, and you'll notice if you look at the bottom here, it's loading, okay? So what you need to do is you need to basically let it kind of do its thing. You can minimize the screen. Once the entire video has loaded, it will hopefully appear right here. So let's just kind of hang out for a second and let it do that. While we're waiting for that, there's something else I want to mention. They do include some extra tools with Toast Titanium, including a screen capture tool, so you can record your entire screen. It is not quite like what I do, because you'll notice, a lot of times, not in all, but in some of our videos, when I go to click, I can make it zoom in. You don't have any of that ability, Okay, it's just a standard recording. That's it. So you can do a live screen capture right here. Let's see, has web video worked yet? Still loading. So we gotta wait for it. It did definitely give me some issues when I was testing it beforehand. So we'll just keep letting that thing load. Looked like it was almost done. I should have picked one of his shorter videos, I think. And hopefully any second, right here, we should see a little preview. Alright, so it's fully loaded. Alright, let me just skip to the very end of the video. Let's see if I can hurry it up. There we go. Whew! Thankful. Alright, so we've got the video right there. All you need to do to add it into this section right here is hit the little plus symbol. Okay, and you can add in as many as you can fit into a DVD. Again, I've not found that it works perfectly, but it seems to do a pretty decent job, especially since it's kind of a bonus feature that a lot of people don't buy the software for that specific feature. Next thing I want to talk about is editing video, okay? Because you can create chapters in this thing. So let's go up here to data. Let's see. Actually, I'm just going to drag back one of these video clips. So when you bring in a project, let's say you have some sort of a film that you've been working on, a lot of people want to have different chapters so that the user can skip to different parts of the video. There is a way to add this in. All you have to do is click on the edit button right here. You'll get a little pop-up screen. And there's a few things we can do from here. So if you want to add different chapters, there's a little tab right up here at the top right for chapters. You can have it be automatic, in which case it'll just do it either every minute, every 2 minutes, whatever you tell it. Let's just do every minute. Or you can manually set it. So you have to know the exact time code for when one chapter ends and the next chapter begins. Okay. On the left-hand side of this screen here, we have a few different buttons. So these bottom arrows that you see here, kind of above the or below the play line, if you, for whatever reason, need to edit the video, let's say it's a video that you legally got from YouTube and you want to cut out the credits at the very end, okay? You could grab this little thing here at the very end and drag it back, and this is actually editing the video without you having to, go through Final Cut or anything like that. So if I were to stop it right here, the video would end at 48 seconds, okay? Let's move it there. You'll also see that we have this little arrow here, this triangle rather, on top of the video. That is used for finding, kind of the still image that's going to represent the video, the little clip, the thumbnail. I have trouble with ever looking decent in a single still image. Let's try to take that one right there. You'll see below here we have a button for set picture. So if I click that, you'll notice when I go to the next screen, that is now the thumbnail. So when I'm on the menu, that'll represent the clip. I want to also show you here that under options, if we switch away from media over to options, you can add a menu. Okay, now these can get a little cheesy, I admit. Okay, typically I would stick with something like the default one. I actually like this last one, Warp. Okay, they have all sorts of different themes here. You can kind of see what I mean. You can also, if you don't like this stuff, you can do no menus. Not a bad idea. Let's go to Warp. Okay. And what you can do here, there's a few items over here on the right-hand side. Quality. You want your project to look good, right? So my advice is just do best instead of custom. You can have it auto-play the disc on insert. If you're like me, I have this thing where I can, for whatever reason, never find the remote to the DVD player. So I like to just plop a disc in and just play. That's what I'm going to do anyway, right? So I believe by default this actually comes unchecked. So you can just check that. It'll remember it. So next time you burn a disc, it'll already be there. Okay. Your recorder settings are down here at the very, very bottom of the screen. Okay. I got to plug mine in. Hold on. I knew there was something I was forgetting to do before this class. How about plug it in? Here we go. I used an older version of the disc burner that you all see, the one that's $22 to $25. It's so cheap, but it's reliable. It's great. So when I do need to burn a disc, just plug it in. It's good to go. So let's go into settings. Okay. You can say what write speed you want it to burn at. My advice is to just really ensure that no problems take place while you're burning a disk. You want to make sure that you have as many other applications closed out as possible. You really want to allow the computer to devote all the memory to doing this task. Supposedly it does have things to prevent problems from happening. If you do have other applications running in the background, I guess I just personally don't trust it. So there you go. Different write modes. I don't think we need to really focus on that. Let's hit OK. If you do go to copy a disk, it takes a while, because what it's going to do is it's going to basically essentially write the disk to the memory of the computer and then burn it to another disk. So if you decide to use the copy version, just be prepared to wait. Another thing I want to mention here, you'll notice this one is a USB 2 optical drive. The difference here is if you have a newer computer, your computer probably comes with USB 3.0. 3.0 is significantly faster than 2.0. I will also put a USB 3.0 optical drive in the description. Just understand, for that extra speed, you do pay a price. So they're typically a little bit more expensive. So that really is the vast majority of Toast. I'm trying to remember, is there anything I want to go over here in settings? Yes. Glad I went over that. Okay. Here in settings, this is really the only big thing I would probably check out here, is if you insert a blank disk, if you want Toast to automatically launch, you can. It's these top two options right here. So this is the option for a blank CD. This is the option for a blank DVD. If you do want to change these settings later on, the other place that you can find, and this basically will override it, is in System Preferences, right here where it says CDs and DVDs. Same thing. So see how it modifies your settings for you. Like that. If you are going to be burning a disk at night, I know this sounds random, but I've done it before. There's this thing here, it plays a bing noise when done. It's really loud, so you might want to consider unchecking that one. Let's see. So what I would like to do at this point, that's kind of the majority of the software. As with all of our classes, there are certain things I leave out just to keep things moving and paced well. So for the people who are here live, took their time to come out, I'm going to stick around and answer their questions. For those of you who've been tuning in on our website or through our YouTube channel, thank you for joining us. One of the best ways you can show your support is you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. For those of you who are watching on YouTube or our website, you'll see a little button appear at the bottom of your screen. You can click on that. With one click, subscribe. Very easy and, oh yeah, free. This is David A. Cox with PC Classes Online. Class dismissed.